Hi everybody, it's Rebecca Gabriel and welcome to my YouTube channel Living with Spice. It's been a couple of weeks since we've had a reading together and I do hope that life is going well for you. I thought it would be a lovely opportunity to do a reading, a general reading for the next 2 weeks, which takes us into the first 2 weeks of June. So it'd be really interesting to see what energies are coming up for us for June. I've got a number of decks that I have pre-shuffled and chosen for the reading this evening. So we'll get underway in just a moment. And of course, I always say that remember that this is a general reading, so it may not necessarily resonate for everybody, but I do hope that you find something useful in this reading. And I'd like to just remind everybody that even though we sort of put a date time frame around the readings, of course, if you were to find this reading at another time and it feels like it's resonating for you, then the message is definitely meant for you. So when it comes to our spiritual growth, time is kind of fluid. It's not the way we tend to normally look at time, being very precise and date specific. Spirit works very fluidly. And of course, it depends on where we are in our own spiritual life and our own soul journey. So it's most important to recognize what sits well with you and what feels like resonates with your life at the particular time that you happen to be listening to this reading. If you do find the reading helpful, I would love it if you would please show me by liking and subscribing, and of course I'd love it if you share the videos with anybody else that you think could find this useful. All right, I am going to start by setting the scene with this deck, the Psychic Tarot deck from John Holland, and see what we come up with. We'll see if any cards pop out for the first 2 weeks of June, please. Sometimes cards are willing to pop out quickly and sometimes they just take a few minutes, depending on, we've got one there. I'm going to get another 2 cards, please. If they don't come, we will just pull them. Oh, another card there. Thank you, Spirit. One more card. Oh, I think we've just got our card there. No, not quite. Okay. And we will get there. One more card, thank you. All right, this was our first one. We have mental conflict. We have truth. And we have crown chakra. Okay, so what I'm getting from these cards, that you've been in a period of overthinking recently, and a lot has been on your mind, and potentially because there has been quite significant amount of change in your life, and you're reassessing things. You're reassessing and probably a little bit obsessing a bit too much over details, and certainly wondering what choice to make, how to do something, how to go about making change that you're feeling that you really want to be making, and you feel within your inner self, in your soul, that this is something you know that you want to do, but you really feel torn as to how to go about creating this change, and that you're feeling quite trapped, and quite likely that you're feeling trapped physically, but to be honest, Spirit's letting me know that that feeling of being trapped is actually mostly mental, that it's your thoughts that are holding you back, and as a result, you're only seeing part of the picture. You're not actually seeing the solution because you've become so obsessed in your thoughts that it's blocking you from seeing the possibilities. And perhaps what it's doing is it's blocking your energy as well. And so you are quite consumed in your thoughts at the moment. So it's causing you a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of worry, a lot of mental anxiety, in that you're very full in your head, and it's almost like you just can't process anymore. There's just too much going on at the moment, and quite likely this high intense period of mental activity is also causing you to feel quite busy in your physical world, although you're not feeling like you're getting traction on anything. And so there's that sense of spinning your wheels somewhat. And you're conflicted. You're going backwards and forwards in your mind. One moment you're feeling one way, and the next moment you're feeling something else. So there's a bit of a pendulum swing here in terms of your thinking around this particular topic or subject that's concerning you. And it's quite an intense period for you. So let's see what the next card is showing us. So I think from what I can see in this card here, again, there is emphasis on you really reflecting on something quite deeply. And now it's taking you to a space of really having some soul reflection, going deeper to ask yourself what it is that you truly desire. So you've moved from not just thinking mentally how to solve a problem and how to solve a problem, but now you're reflecting more deeply on what truly is your purpose, what your heart is wanting you or drawing you towards. And this is touching on your soul. You're feeling a soul connection to this situation. So you are spending a lot more time on a much deeper reflection, and so you've gone within a fair bit here, and this really is deep reflection. You're really looking at the future long term, but it's got you quite caught up because you're not yet free. You're feeling quite bound by the weight of this decision. And yet there's a yearning from your heart and a yearning from your soul. And you're looking into the future as to what most resonates for you in terms of long term. So, my friend, this is obviously a period of reflection in your life where you're taking the matter quite seriously, and this means a great deal to you. And so you are spending time going within and by yourself. These are not shared thoughts or shared reflections. They are deep within you, and you are really pondering them. And for that reason, and for this period of time, this is not so much trapped as in withdrawn and looking out and pondering the future. But there is a sense of hope and realization, because you are seeing, you have a vision, and you are seeing what the potential is and where you want to go, but you're just not sure how to get there. But I can see that Spirit is showing me that you are with time connecting with your heart, and that this really means a great deal to you. that it's not just a mental process here of having to solve something. This is a matter of the heart and a matter of the soul. And you truly desire enlightenment here. You truly desire freedom, growth, long term. And so you're giving it deep consideration. This is not something that's superficial for you. The last card is the crown chakra. And this is Spirit calling for you to tune into your higher self in order to release yourself from the limits of your thinking and to connect with Spirit and your higher self to find the answer within. So what has started out as being a mental problem for you has become deep inner reflection that you're realizing is touching your heart and your soul. And Spirit is saying, go deeper still. This is a matter that it's a spiritual concern. It's a spiritual matter here. And the crown chakra, which is our energy center here, when we give ourselves time to be still and connect by going within, clearing ourselves from all of the chaos and frantic energy in our normal day-to-day life, perhaps you can do this by going into nature or through meditating. You're able to release your crown chakra so that you are free to connect with your higher self and receive the spiritual guidance and the wisdom that is available for you to help you to connect with your heart and your soul, to understand with clarity the direction that you're looking for. Because I can see that you are really pondering deeply about your future and the choice that you want to make. And you know and you feel it, but you're just not sure what steps to take. So definitely, Spirit will assist you when you take time to clear your energy. And the best way to do that is to step into nature and be away from the day-to-day chaotic energy of other people, of work, and find a way to be at peace, to breathe deeply, and to clear the tension within your body in order to release emotions and release mental activity so that you can connect with your higher self and with your spiritual guides. And that's going to assist you in understanding the best path forward for you. Let's see what the other decks can show us and clarify this message, because it's sounding a little bit cryptic, I'm sure, for you all. But I do think you're going to understand the basic message here, to resonate with the fact that you clearly have been in a great deal of mental conflict recently, and it's really causing you more than usual to feel that you need to go deeper to understand your direction and how to go about making this decision that is really on your heart, on your mind, and really affecting everything at the moment. It's a bit of a night and day thing here. You're losing sleep here. I think we've just found our cards here. Okay. Right, so we have here the goblin, movement, and trust. So with the goblin, this is quite appropriate with mental conflict here. So the goblin represents our fears and our doubts and that over mental activity, when we go into overwhelm and the ego steps in, and it says here the wounded human ego, and quite often when we're feeling frustrated and fearful, and there's too much of this mental chatter going on, we can step into our fear zone, which is what the goblin represents. And this is us going into the negative, thinking about all of the worst possible scenarios, and perhaps revisiting the past, which of course does not reflect the future. It's bringing up all of our worries and anxieties, perhaps memories of things that have happened in the past that you're fearful of repeating again. And there's stubbornness here. There's a sense of, resistant energy. And it clearly is going to hold you back. It's going to keep you in this place of mental conflict. And so Spirit would be guiding you to release that. It's a pretty ugly energy and it's not going to serve you well, but you probably are going to recognize when you're in that sort of stuck, lower vibrational energy, because there's a stubbornness there. There's a resistance to it's a lack of harmony. It's a lack of wanting to compromise and work with others. It's really stubborn energy, and so there's a tendency with this to feel selfish, to feel a little arrogant, to kind of be in that sort of narky, critical headspace. And you may not necessarily show it on the outside, but you're really feeling it. You're feeling cranky within and unable to let go of something. So if something is really chewing on you and you're feeling irritated, this is the energy. And so Spirit's sort of saying, look, hey, that's probably not going to serve you, but recognize it for what it is. And of course, part of that frustration is probably due to the fact that you're feeling that there's no progress, or you want to have progress and you're annoyed by the fact that you just can't see the progress there. You're feeling a little bit tied down, and perhaps that's similar to this energy here too. You know what it is that you want, but you're not too sure how to go about getting it. And this is really bothering you because you're feeling very passionate about what your heart really wants, but you're feeling tied and you don't know how to release from where you are in order to get to this vision of where you want to be. Your heart knows it, your soul knows it, and you've got your eye fixated on where you want to go, but you are being held back. And this is frustrating you and causing you to feel annoyed, and you're going to staying in this state will block your energy. So if you want to achieve your vision, it's going to be important to let go of this kind of energy. So the opposite of that, of course, is to release, let go, see the circumstances with more love and with more light, and to allow the divine to step in and assist you. So we're frustrated that on the surface it feels like there's no progress. We've been working for a long time and there just doesn't appear to be seeing any movement at all. And if you notice that the water is very, very still here, and there's potentially even what appears to be obstacles. There's this big boulder on the surface here, and there's some other debris in the water. But as we all know, underneath the surface, the water is definitely moving quite rapidly. There is movement taking place, but we're just not noticing. And sometimes this is when we need to learn to trust and allow Spirit and divine timing to do the work for us. And so, interestingly, the next card was trust, or is trust, I should say. And to, even though the pathway may seem somewhat full of obstacles, twists and turns, which of course makes everything feel quite challenging. Spirit is saying, please trust that it's going to require you to just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and know that very, very soon you are going to have everything fall into place for you. There is movement happening here. You're just not noticing it. And so you just need to keep going. And what we think actually feels difficult is not really. So it may appear that the pathway is rugged, but it is actually clear. You're not actually being prevented. You've just got to keep going. You've just got to put one foot in front of the other, because you're actually not being prevented at all. It really is in the mind. So far I'm really getting that this message is reflecting your mental energy, how you're thinking about something. And to be honest, the stuckness and the frustration is purely mental. It is your mental, it's the way you're seeing things. And sort of a little bit obsessing about things. The most important thing is to maintain your focus on the vision of what it is that you want. And this person here is quite steadfast in staying quite focused. That's really important, but you must reconnect with your higher self and with spirit to clear your energy, because your energy is very stuck at the moment. So sometimes it's helpful to really take care of your physical well-being when you're feeling emotionally and mentally stuck. A great place to start is to take care of your well-being. Are you getting enough rest? You know, do you need to go and do a workout to release the physical tension? Look at your diet. Make sure that you're eating well so you can think clearly. Avoid sort of, beverages and lots of sugar, alcohol and caffeine. Avoid those sorts of beverages, and if you can, reduce sugar in your diet. As tempting as it is to eat bad food when we're feeling cranky, it's not really going to help you. And to just trust that even though things feels like there's no movement, you just need to keep going and trust that Spirit is there looking after you, that the pathway is really not as blocked as you believe it to be. So I'm going to pull some cards from the Earth Gaia deck, Earth Magic deck. Spirit, can we have 3 cards to clarify the messages so far? Thank you. I have to say, this wasn't the kind of reading I thought was going to happen this evening, but there you go. Okay, so we have this one, and this one. Oh, lovely. So we have, again, this is kind of where you're feeling right now, a little bit under the weather, feeling that you're kind of like treading water and finding it difficult to come up to the surface. A little bit out of reach and distant, and a little cold. And I think that's just a result of you being too much in your head. And so it's quite difficult to connect with your heart energy at the moment, because you have been so much in your head. And yet there's a depth to you and a depth to your thinking at the moment that is quite hidden. It's quite hidden for you. There's a great deal going on within you right now. And so, yes, you're very much deep in thought, as the other cards are indicating to us this evening. Very deep in thought. But it's sort of, you're coming across as being quite aloof and removed as a result, because you're really feeling the need to be self-contained, as you reflect and ponder and focus on this matter that's very important to you. and there's sort of this harshness and blocked feeling. And, you know, look, I have to say that when we take our reflections to the extreme and we become a little too obsessed in our thinking, we lose touch with our heart energy, and that can make it more difficult to connect with our soul and to see things clearly. Like we're not feeling that inspiration. So inspiration comes from a very passionate, intense, heated energy. And this is, I'm not seeing that here. The card is indicating to me that you're just not feeling that inspiration and that connection with your higher self, which Spirit is really asking you to come back to, because you're just really in this crappy energy. So we've really just got to let go, because I think the more that you force this, the harder it's going to be for you, and you just need to somehow release and let go. And to be honest, I think a really helpful way to go forward with this is to really show yourself some compassion and some loving and some nurturing. Like, what can you do, and how can others assist you in terms of creating some inner warmth, some healing? Because this is what you're needing. You're not in that space at the moment, and I'm really sensing that this is something that will help you. So what is it that can you do to nurture yourself this week and to warm your heart? You know, sometimes, you know, advice is to go and show love and compassion to someone else, or do something giving and generous to someone, and that warms our own heart. But I'm getting the sense you might need a little bit of helping hand this week. So think about some things that you can do that are going to put you in a good space of feeling nurtured and cared for. So I think this is something that you really need to focus on this week to help you to release from all of this mental anxiety, because you're not going to find the solution by over-intellectualizing this, because the answer is not going to come from your mind. It's going to be from your heart and your soul, and it's a spiritual answer here. It's not a mental answer. So it's so important for you to find a way to be able to release and to warm your heart, give yourself some nurturing so you can let the waters run and flow, because they're still. Everything's stopped and you're feeling so blocked. So we need to find a way to unblock that energy. So think about what you can do to help release those waters, the waters being our emotions. And quite often, this issue around trust is when we're trying to, sometimes when we're so desperately trying to find the answer to something, we hold on to something so tightly and we overthink. And so we're only seeing the obstacles, we're not seeing that the path is clear. So, you know, Spirit's saying sort of perhaps step back from trying to solve the problem right now and just trust. The next card is crystals. Now in this picture, we've got some beautiful amethyst crystals, which is this beautiful crystal here. And this crystal assists us with our intuition and connecting with our higher self. So it's fascinating that this card has come up. I love it. And again, of course, matches this beautifully. The need to step into your higher self and connect spiritually. Now, so what do I mean by that? There's positive and negative ways of being able to go within and connect. So this is what I would say is an unhelpful way to do it, with overthinking and over-intellectualizing and over-analyzing. But when we go within to connect with our higher self and our soul, we do it from a place of calm and stillness and feeling grounded. So it's not from a place where we're thinking about things. It's more a place from where we're sensing and feeling. And it's coming from a relaxed space. So we've got to get you warmed up and out of this icy feeling and connect with nature, with beauty. And if you do happen to understand crystals, or you can appreciate even their beauty, perhaps go find yourself a beautiful amethyst crystal. It certainly will assist you with clearing your energy. In this picture, the energy of the crystals is bringing enlightenment, aha moments, realizing, having insights, tapping into your wisdom. So when we let go of the overthinking and the busy mind, and we get into that state of calm, that's when we go, oh, now I get it, now I realize. It's seeing the bigger picture. It's connecting with what makes you feel inspired and uplifts you. It's connecting with your dream of what you really want. Not what the world is telling you, not what you're feeling pressured to do. It truly is the bigger picture. So notice this mountain. The view on top of the mountain, that's where we have our dreams. Stars represent enlightenment, wishes fulfilled. And as we do that, we're going to feel a release. And there's going to be perhaps a wash of emotions for us, but it'll be very positive and it'll be very nurturing and a release. And this is coming for you, providing you find the time to relax and nurture yourself. Then you're going to have a release of this beautiful water is moving, it's free, and you're going to have that sort of rebirth, renewal, remembrance of the bigger picture of what you're really wanting. And with it's going to bring clarity for you. So certainly crystals will help you. So maybe if you haven't delved into using crystals before, maybe that's something that you can do. And then the last card is vulnerability. This is the result of what will unfold for you as you come to a place of releasing, letting go, and looking after your well-being. The landscape completely changes for you. So whilst you may start the month feeling really agitated and uncertain and deeply worried, you're going through a really intense time that brings you to a place of needing to connect with your higher self and your spirituality. And to do that is to really let go, allow the waters to flow, and to trust that the path is actually clear, that it's all in your mind. And as you release from this stuckness and hardness of heart and hardness in your thinking and connect with nature, it will help you to see. It will help you to realize that your stuckness has been all in your mind and not reality. And as you let go, the waters will flow for you and your landscape within will completely change. So we go from hardness, stuckness, feeling really withdrawn, to this incredible change of complete freedom and sunshine, a totally new landscape where you can see the flowers here are blooming. These are sunflowers. And there's no restrictions there. We've got a clear sky and everything is, there's no obstacles there. It's just a clear meadow. And you have a complete sense of openness. So it says vulnerability, which is another way of being able to say feeling liberated. Nothing's holding you back anymore. Unlike this, where you feel very deeply buried and troubled. How beautiful. So releasing, trusting, really getting out of your mind, getting out of your head. So I think the advice here is to take care of your well-being and go and get that healing that you need. Go and take care of your well-being, your physical well-being. And it may be that you just need to allow others to assist with that healing so that there's a release for you. And I'm really getting a sense that connecting with your physical energy to release the mental is what's going to help you. So I'm going to draw some cards from this deck, Blue Angel Oracle deck. Thank you, Spirit. What advice can you give us to help release from the very heavy mental energy, to find healing, openness, and to put us in a place of trust, to connect with our higher spirit for the guidance that we're looking for, so that we can follow our soul path and what we know to be true for ourselves. Help us to release from our mental stuckness and overthinking, and show us the way forward so that we are walking our soul path, the way forward for our future. I've got two there. I've got more than two. I'll just take that top one. Okay, we have Shambhala. It's a really beautiful, loving, healing energy in this card. So the woman is representing life and creation, and she's forming the trunk of a beautiful tree, and there's a heart at the top here. So she's actually covered in vines, and she's representing creation, life, and she's the trunk of this tree that comes up and forming the branches. the energy of this card is reinforcing the same message of really utilizing physical healing to release your heart, to soften your heart. And this will enable you to feel open and vulnerable in the positive sense, in a way that enables you to feel inspired and connected with creativity and with life. Because it is actually within you, and coming to a place of connecting with your physicality will assist you with your healing and to release that stuck energy. I'm going to see what else is written here. You are entering a period of creativity and abundance. This signifies a golden future which is soon to unfold. You will have many wonderful experiences accompanied by feelings of deep fulfillment and peace. This is a creative and most productive time through which you express and manifest your inner vision. Keep focused on your dreams and they will manifest. You shall feel inspired and your positive energy will inspire others also. Express the love and creativity that is within your heart and you will experience great joy. At times it will seem as though heaven has truly descended upon earth. How beautiful. A really wonderful way to release and experience the real you. Just letting go. The next one is Maitreya, Wisdom of the Ages. This is very, very deep, a very, very, very deep wisdom. And that's sort of very similar to the energy of the other cards of really tapping into what it is that you know and listening to that, drawing on the wisdom that you have. And that's different to being stuck in this mental energy. It's really connecting with your spiritual self by releasing the energy in your crown chakra and connecting with your higher self. It's very deep, soulful energy in this card, and it's connecting with your third eye, which represents your wisdom. And what you know to be true for yourself. Sometimes when you know and you have a really deep knowing about something, it's hard to explain why you know. You just have it inside and it's resonating for you and you just have this real deep sense. So Spirit is saying listen to that, pay attention to that, because it will assist you in taking the right steps forward. You've been on this earth many times before, and you'll return again many times. From each lifetime you keep the most precious experiences, the ones that have made you the beautiful soul you are. You have witnessed humanity's unfolding and have experienced all there is. Your mother in this life may have been your daughter in another. You may one day be your child's child. So you've been around many times. You've experienced everything. You've experienced poverty and wealth, happiness and sadness, sickness, health, and yet through it all you've essentially stayed the same. And this is what we refer to as our soul journey. Your soul matures every time you have these different lifetimes and experiences, and you learn and you remember these. Your soul remembers these lessons and the growth and what you know. Life is an endless cycle, and you are your soul's endless enfoldment. So it's really speaking to soul, your soul journey, your soul wisdom. And this is what you're feeling in this card here, connecting with your truth, the truth of what your soul wants you to notice and take and pay attention to. So the decisions that you are feeling are so important to you right now are matters of your soul, are matters for your soul, and are affecting your soul journey. So it really is about listening to your heart and your soul rather than your mind, what your mind tells you that you should be paying attention to, which often is the chaos and the day-to-day distractions and busyness and what the world tells us we need to listen to. That's different to what your soul is asking you to listen to. So what's weighing very heavily on your mind is actually a matter of your heart and soul, not a matter of trying to intellectualize answers. And so Spirit is reminding you that the wisdom of your soul matters. What you do and what you learn in this lifetime is carried over with each life that you have. So if you want true peace and freedom, it's trusting to see the pathway forward, not the obstacles, so that you have this freedom, liberation, abundance in your life, the dream that you're after, which of course is expressed in beautiful creativity. And the last card is eternity. So your soul is forever. And so the experiences that you're having are soul lessons. And what we all want is to experience peace and love and freedom and abundance always. So what we experience in the present moment is also experienced by our soul eternally. What we're feeling on the inside is reflected in the outside and our experiences on the outside. So if we are to stay in this busy mental state here, it will be reflected externally in our world with chaos and conflict and things not going smoothly. And this is kind of the energy that it feels like. And so everything and everyone around us is going to be reflecting that energy as well. And yet, if we're able to release from that and get in touch with our heart, then this grows exponentially into abundance in our life, externally. Keep going to the wrong page. Here we go. Eternity. This life, which projects you forward, is also the eternal life, which folds back within itself endlessly, time and time again. Your life unfolds within itself in an endless cycle. The future is inside you, waiting to appear. It lives alongside you this present moment. You'll never have more or less than the present. All you are, all you ever have been, and all you ever will be is already here. It exists inside you. This card reminds you to keep focused on the present, for in the present everything exists. The magic of creation is now. You are an ocean of light, unfolding through time. This is your story. Eternity is your destiny waiting to be filled. When we are very focused on this sense of longing energy and always looking to the future, it will always feel like it's out of reach. And that's why we can become so overly consumed in our mind and get nowhere. And the result is a hardness of the heart and a stuckness in our mind. And our reality seems to feel like it's not progressing at all. So Spirit is reminding us that rather than stay in this energy of really looking to the future, looking for answers intellectually and being so focused on what's ahead, Spirit is asking you to be in this present moment, to really appreciate what is now, to let go of the worry and stop seeing the obstacles, but rather see what is precious and beautiful in you and in your circumstances, what is right in front of you. In fact, perhaps this stuckness is preventing you from seeing what is right in front of you. When we nurture ourselves and really take care of who we are, we release from all of that mental entrapment and we connect with our heart. And that is a very creative, spontaneous and inspiring energy. And that's how we create this sense of freedom and abundance, by being here in the moment. So what is in our heart becomes reflected in our external world. For life is only ever now. Now is eternal. Now is forever. Now is now. It's past, present, and future. So, this reading has been very much focused on your mental energy. And the concerns I hear that you have about feeling like there's no progress and that sort of stuckness. But I do get a sense that healing is possible for you, that you just might need someone to help you reconnect with the physical realm in order to connect with the spiritual realm, to experience healing. I have the Romance Angels card deck. I'm going to draw some cards from this deck, but I'm getting the sense that these cards will be more to do with perhaps the relationship you have with yourself, or maybe it has something to do with where your energy and focus is at the moment. Well, one has popped out already. So hopefully we might find some assistance, a messaging to help us with our mental energy. Spirit, what guidance can you give us in terms of our heart energy? Oh, okay, another one just popped out. And this may reveal why there's been a lot of stuckness in your thoughts. And I can see already what that is. Feeling like a few cards want to come out here. We'll just give it another go. That's 3 cards so far. Let's just see what else. I feel like this deck is wanting to really speak to us tonight. Just keep getting cards that want to come. Oh, there's another one. Oh. Okay. The first card here is forgiving and, whoa, I'm throwing my glasses around. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Oh, my dear. Is this where your mind has been? Is this where you have been looking? The stuckness that you have felt, the resistant energy, the hardness in the heart, has been your energy, and a real tightness and constriction. Look at the worry. I do feel that this card is really urging you to let go of the judgment of yourself and forgive yourself. Let go of the regrets and learn from them. You know, Spirit is never going to judge you. We do that ourselves. And there's a real tenderness here of the desire for Spirit to heal you. I don't know if you can see these angels here. They really understand how you feel. And they're really urging you to let go, to forgive yourself because Spirit does, and to allow healing to take place. There's no regrets. What's done is done. And as you forgive yourself and you let go, it enables you to heal from the past so that going forward you start afresh. And I think this has been the source of your concerns and worries. That's really overtaken your thinking. So and in the middle of this reading, I really got that sense of the need for your healing. And of course, this card has affirmed that. The next one that came out was soulmate. So I expect that your thoughts have been around a special person, your person, and this card's saying, well, there is no doubt that this person that has been on your mind is your soulmate, and perhaps your concerns have been about what was in the past. Perhaps there's been some regrets around things that have happened in the past. But Spirit's really wanting you to heal, because if you desire this connection, which it seems to me that this is where it's leading to, there's no need for you to worry. This person is your soulmate. And you can see there's obviously a connection, there's love, there's chemistry there, there's a deep intimacy and closeness. So release this, heal and let go. The next card that came out, I expect that this is leading to that. And by the way, this came up. So I'm really sensing a big, big shift here to something really beautiful. And bliss that's coming your way. So my friend, how beautiful is that? Now, I don't expect that everybody that's listening or watching this reading is going to suddenly go, oh yes, I'm about to meet my soulmate and go off and get married and have a honeymoon. So this message is going to relate to perhaps just a few, but certainly the energy of letting go of that mental anguish and anxiety is really important. And I'm sure we'll speak to many people at the moment. And the desire to listen to your heart and recognize that this movement that's happening and this desire to be free needs to come from your heart and your soul, not from your mind. And so there is a real need to create healing for yourself and try to release the frustrations where you feel that nothing is changing or moving. There's certainly movement happening beneath the surface. It really is the way you're seeing things at the moment. You've really got to let go and allow yourself to heal. Be kind to yourself. And as you do that, a floodgate of waters will be released, and what was bound up in the ice will be melted into this beautiful rushing water. And you'll have a real sense of, oh, now I understand, now I get it. And tapping into your intuition and your higher self and recognizing your purpose in life, why you're here. And this has got a beautiful, deep connection. This creative energy, this love energy is leading you back to your soulmate. There is nothing restricted here. This is beautiful freedom for your life, which for some lucky people will result in this. So I'm going to leave the reading on that beautiful note, and I wish you peace and calm and healing in the weeks ahead. And my dear friends, let go of the mental anguish and find a way to bring peace into your life, to feel the healing physically, mentally and emotionally. Peace be with you.